Last week saw a couple of major developments in Robert Mueller's Russia probe. First, President Trump's former campaign manager Paul Manafort violated his plea deal. Then Trump's personal lawyer Michael Cohen flipped and pleaded guilty. Here to discuss how it all went down and what this could mean for President Trump is Talking Points analyst Brandon Ross. So let's walk through this. Let's start with Manafort. What happened there?
So Manafort is facing a litany of charges at both the D.C. local level and at the federal level. Some cases he has already been found guilty. Others he made a plea deal with Robert Mueller in order to bring those charges down. However, recently it was found out that he had violated the terms of his plea deal by lying to both the FBI, who was investigating, and of course to special counsel Robert Mueller. So it's going to be interesting to see how that develops, but it's certainly not looking good for Manafort, as this is something that most people didn't really expect him to do.
So by, violating this plea deal, what does this mean on the Mueller investigation and investigations going forward?
Well, I think in specific regards to Paul Manafort, I think what both sides have agreed to is that both the prosecutors and Manafort's legal team don't really know where to go from here. Both of them are sort of at an impasse of how to go forward. And I think both sides are likely just going to go to have a sentencing date set for all the charges he's already been convicted of but not been sentenced for, and all those crimes he has pled guilty to, but he has violated the terms of the agreement. And so we'll see what happens there. And we don't have a date for that yet, but it will probably be sometime soon.
So let's switch gears a little bit. Michael Cohen also switched his plea deal to a guilty plea. So what does that mean for him?
Well, it's getting really interesting because for a long time he was probably the only big holdout left. A lot of people speculated that he was probably expecting some kind of a pardon from President Trump, something that he has thrown around in the past for many of his close allies, Paul Manafort included. So it wasn't too speculative for him to think that, but he saw it probably wasn't coming, and so he has pleaded guilty. And something that came out of that was some big revelations. The fact that Trump actually was involved, at least according to Michael Cohen, in some Russian business dealings. He was looking to build some sort of grand skyscraper in Moscow, and this was happening right over the course of the election cycle.
So we spoke about Trump's former campaign manager, we spoke about Trump's attorney, but what does this mean for the president himself?
It's not a good look for sure to have two of your closest allies flip on you, and while Manafort hasn't himself actually done anything to implicate the president, he's actually not. More than anything, President Trump hasn't, Manafort hasn't done anything to actually implicate the president. Just the fact that he lies shows something. And by Michael Cohen flipping his testimony to Congress, it doesn't reflect well on the president.
So quickly, if there's going to be someone else to fall, who's it going to be? Are we talking about Rick Gates? Or are we talking about someone that we don't even know of yet?
Well, it would probably be Rick Gates, because seeing as he was the domino to fall alongside Paul Manafort. They're very allied closely, and Brad Parscale is set to manage Trump's campaign in 2020. He was involved on the social media side in 2016, but I really doubt that he's going to be one to flip, mostly because not sure what there is for him to offer. Rick Gates is probably the next one to fall if any others fall.
All right, Brandon, we know you'll be watching this closely.